I'm Dakota, and I'm going to be talking about Mary Read, one of the most famous female pirates of all history. The reason I chose to talk about her is because she was an influence in many women's suffrage rights. She was born circa 1690, and she was an active pirate from the year 1708 to 1721. Her rank was a privateer in the English Army, and she died in the Caribbean, but spent most of her years wandering the world. She was born in 1690 in England. The date of birth specifically is argumentative because of a mention of her in a book that is called The Peace of Ryswick by Captain Charles Johnson. And one of the two women to be convicted of piracy during the 18th century was Anne Bonny and Mary Read. She died circa April 1721 at the age of 31 in Port Royal, Jamaica. She was accused of piracy and was supposed to be hung by the neck, but she pleaded pregnant, so they let her stay in the prison. But she ended up dying of fever. Her mother disguised her as a boy, so when she was young she could receive financial aid because her brother had died when she was young. She became a footboy when she was a teenager and was employed on a ship later. She joined the military sometime around the 9 Years' War. It's not really sure, but that's the estimated date. When she was in war, she fell in love with a Flemish soldier, and after so much ranking up, when she became a privateer, she bought him an inn with many of the goods she received. After a while, he had died, and Reed resumed military service. But after the war, she was no longer able to continue her ranking. So she quit and just went to the Caribbean. Her ship was taken by pirates, and then when she was forced to join the pirates in mutiny, she was taken by the king's army, and she took the king's pardon, which allowed her to become a privateer for her freedom. It was either she became a privateer or she was sentenced to imprisonment. After she took the king's pardon, she rode on the ship for a couple of years, and then the ship had became infested with mutiny and was also overtaken from the inside this time. 1720 to death, she was with John Rackham, who is known famously by the name Calico Jack, and Anne Bonny. Anne Bonny was the only other famous female convicted of piracy. In October 1720, Captain Jonathan Barnett, who was a pirate hunter, took the Rackham's crew by surprise while they were actually having a rum party outside of Jamaica. Barnett took Rackham's crew by surprise while they were all drunk and staggering, and then Jack Rackham and the men fled to the hold after the surprise attack had pretty much immobilized their ship. Rackham and his crew stayed in the hold while leaving the women outside to fight the pirates. Anne Bonny allegedly shot into the hold, killing multiple people and wounding even more. She was sentenced with her crew to trial in what is now known as Spanish Town, Jamaica. She was hung by the neck, and then Reed and Bonny both pleaded pregnant. In prison, on the trial, they pleaded pregnant, and they were sentenced to imprisonment. Anne had escaped, and Mary had died of fever during the escape in April 28, 1721. She is recorded in St. Catherine's Church, but there is no record of her baby being born. Thank you.